was here.
Great Scott! Gordon Freeman! I expected more warning.
Yeah, you and me both, Doc. He was about to board the express to Nova Prospect.
Well, Barney, what do you intend?
I'm thinking.
Alex is around here somewhere. She would have a better idea how to get him here.
Oh, as long as he stays away from checkpoints, we should be okay. Listen, I gotta go, Doc. We're taking enough chances as it is.
Very well. And, Gordon, good to see you.
All right,
okay, Gordon. You're gonna have to make your own way to Dr. Kleiner's lab. Oh, man, that's what I was afraid of. Get in here, Gordon, before you blow my cover.
So that introduces the good guys. Tells you about Kleiner and Alex and Barney.
There's no time to waste here, Gordon.
And it gives you your first objective, which is to get to Kleiner's lab. So you know, introducing the game. Anyway, I was saying before, why would you have rooms like
Gordon.
these in a train station? I mean, they're more likely to be in a police station. So it fits in with the
move it now, will ya?
with the combine thing, but it doesn't really fit in with the train station thing. Anyway, I guess we'll move it. Alright, we're moving it. Storage room.
Pile up some stuff to get through that window and keep going till you're in the plaza. I'll meet up with you later.
Door closes by itself, and they're teaching you to pick up objects, which is all good. And you know what? How did they get these things in here? Oh, they fit through that. I thought they didn't fit through that. So it barely fits through that. Like sometimes you'll find objects in areas where it's not possible to get them there in some games because you know you don't think about these things too much sometimes. Anyway, I guess this is the luggage, the lost and found or something. I don't know. But I guess this is a good time to introduce another idea in computer games, which is the corridors and rooms syndrome. Because in games you have to get from point A to point B a lot. Sometimes you just have corridors and rooms for not too much reason. I mean, here we have, so we had a room and then another room. Before that we had another room and then a corridor. And you know, when you get too much of that, sometimes they don't actually make sense, or you know, they don't actually make any spatial sense. In the sense that they don't add up to a building, or they don't add up to an actual realistic environment. But you don't notice it because you're inside all the time and you're running through and you're being, I don't know, you're probably getting shot at the same time. But yeah, the corridors and rooms problem is something that I guess game designers, they have to use them, but they want to avoid making it too obvious. Now this is an obvious problematic room because this space serves no purpose. Why on earth would you leave an area like this and not have it usable in some way, or just, you know, extend the roof over this and then just have more rooms, or have more office space or whatever? And if this is supposed to be like a skylight or a light well, then the only windows go into a storage space. I can imagine if there were offices all around here, and then this is somewhere where you can get some ventilation and natural lighting, then yeah, okay, you want an open space, but there isn't. It's all blank walls. So anyway, this, you know, sometimes you get bits in games that don't actually make any architectural sense. We'll keep moving into the next corridor as such. But yeah, like, pointless corridors and rooms are things that sometimes games fall trap to. And in the spaces like that where you can't get into, I can guarantee you, in the real world, you get rubbish and rats and all that in there. Because look, there's no way to get down there to clean it out. Anyway, we come back to here. For some reason this door's unlocked, which is really unusual. So we're back in the main area of the train station. I would guess the trains are back that way because this way is the ticketing area. That's good, isn't it? Pick up the can. You can throw it at him. You can do that. And he'll come along and show you what he thinks about that. Yeah, look, it bounced all his face into the rubbish bin. Oh, damn, it hit him. Anyway, so yeah, so we come back. See, I don't even remember whether this leads back into the train area. You know, the corridors and rooms. What happens is that you get disoriented when you're inside, and then when you come back out and you don't know what's going on. I guess maybe this is the area where they were separating you. You know, where there was the chain link fence. That's probably past here. I don't know, so it goes from the ticketing booth to the waiting room and then to the platforms. I don't know. So I don't remember. So, ticketing booth, and once again, it's the compression of space. It's the fact that the areas are smaller than they would be in real life. Because imagine if this was real. There's this really tall space, but it's also really small compared to the fact 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 9 ticketing stations, but there's hardly any room for people to line up. And there's, you know, you would expect, I mean, I would expect this to be at least twice or 3 times as big, you know, as a ticketing hall for a train station that has that many trains in it, you know? And also if there's enough people to require 9 ticketing booths and that many trains, then the trains would have been longer. You wouldn't have just trains with 3 carriages in it. So everything's kind of a strange size, like they're all smaller than what would make sense. But yeah, that's computer games where you can't. If you actually made everything full size, then everything feels too big because there's a lot of empty space where things don't happen, and then you play through it, it feels a bit strange. So that's how games work. A lot of the times that's how games work. Like things are distorted, times are compressed to eliminate boring bits, and space is also compressed to eliminate blank space. But for what's here, again, you know, it's quite rich, it's quite detailed, it's quite, and I don't know if we want to call it lush, because, you know, it's kind of grimy and dirty and all that. But it looks rich and detailed. I like that. I like the attention to detail. And also notice the old architecture, like it's fairly aged. I don't know what time period we should call this. It might even be pre-war, like before the Second World War. And this is important. Like most of the people made, most of the architecture made by humans in this game, as opposed to being made by the Combine. Like these are humans, but the Combine are alien. So all of the human architecture is kind of historic, from maybe the 40s or the 60s. And then anyway, he's telling you the Combine is suppressing your reproduction. So all their stuff is futuristic, and so that also sets up the contrast between human and alien, us and them, friend and enemy. So out here is the next area. I'm not gonna go through it just yet. That'll be in the next section. But that's the main entrance to the train station. And if you're wondering whether this makes sense as a main entrance, I can tell you it doesn't. Yeah, why doesn't the main entrance open straight into the main ticketing area? I don't know. I don't have an answer. Except maybe just to make sure you kind of see all of this, see that, like the people getting their rations, and also not to have giant windows here, because when you go through here, there's a reveal of the scene, which is quite important. Anyway, that'll be right after this one in the next video. So I'm gonna save it and end the video right here. Thanks for watching.